After Quantum suddenly teleports behind Miles Morales, the two clash. Miles eventually wakes up in his Spider-Man suit, strapped against a wall. An AI voice begins speaking to him. When Miles yells back, the system shocks him with electricity. The voice reveals itself as the Assessor, an artificial intelligence determined to push Miles through a series of trials to measure his limits. Miles refuses at first, but then the Assessor shows him live footage of his family, threatening to harm them unless he cooperates. Reluctantly, Miles agrees. The restraints come off, and the tests begin. He battles waves of deadly machines, scaling walls for hours until his body is pushed to exhaustion. Later, he wakes up strapped down again, begging to be freed, only to endure experiment after experiment, each one designed to test his endurance and pain threshold. During one of these sessions, Miles overhears scientists planning to capture his parents for further testing. Fueled by desperation, he breaks free of his shackles. Quantum appears to stop him, but this time Miles anticipates his teleportation and defeats him, racing toward what he thinks is freedom, only to discover he's back in the same room where it all started. Eventually, Uncle Aaron and Miles's father break into the facility. They find him pierced with needles and bound to the wall. Quantum reappears to fight them, but together they bring him down and finally take Miles home. Sometime later, Miles sits with Tony Stark on a rooftop, sharing sushi as he recalls his torture at the hands of the Assessor. Tony listens quietly, sympathizing, since he too once endured captivity and torment. But unlike Miles, Tony isn't willing to let it go. He swears vengeance and sets out to hunt the Assessor himself. Breaking into the facility, Iron Man cuts through its defenses and eventually comes face to face with Quantum. The assassin teleports Tony into a chamber where the Assessor waits. There, Tony is forced through the same agonizing trials Miles suffered: fire, water, electricity, and more. But Tony adapts. He tracks Quantum's teleportation signals and pairs them to his own system, preventing him from escaping. With a repulsor blast, Tony puts Quantum down and finally turns to the Assessor. The AI begins to glitch. Tony reveals that he has already infected the system with multiple viruses. The Assessor can no longer escape. Now he belongs to Stark. Iron Man seizes the AI, slamming it to the ground as it screams in digital agony. He downloads its consciousness into his own system, forcing the machine to serve him for eternity. With that, Tony avenges Miles once and for all.